Todd and Julie Chrisley from the reality TV show Chrisley Knows Best were just indicted on charges of tax evasion, wire fraud, and hiding income from the Internal Revenue Service. The Chrisleys, along with their accountant named Peter Tarantino, were also indicted on tax-related offenses in South. Now, according to that grand jury indictment, the Chrisleys did not file their income taxes or pay federal taxes on a time for a span of several years starting in 2012 to about 2016. The prosecutors in this case went on to say that the Chrisleys and their accountant, Mr. Tarantino, allegedly took additional steps to try and obstruct the I.R.S. collection efforts, which means they were hiding their income and lying to the investigators about their tax returns. So the accountant, Mr. Tarantino, now has his own case to fight for allegedly obstructing the justice and lying to the F.B.I. and I.R.S. agents. Todd actually took to social media before the indictments came down, and their side of the story was actually blaming an ex-employee who stole from them and got fired. So this employee created a fake paper trail and went to the FBI and got this whole situation started. Now, whether you believe this or not, that's entirely up to you. Now, in reality, very few taxpayers ever go to jail for just tax evasion. It's a really rare thing. The I.R.S. actually indicts less than 0.5% of taxpayers for tax evasion, so it makes sense when you think of it. The Internal Revenue Service is a collection agency. Their job is to collect taxes owed to the U.S. It's a government agency who has also had their budget repeatedly cut for the last decade. They have to do a lot more now with a little less resources at this point. So the I.R.S. does have main targets of people who they want to target, and those are normally individuals who's underreporting the taxes they owe, and tax evasion cases mainly come from certain type of taxpayers. So tax evasion cases, and the reason people get indicted for it, is normally for misreporting their income, misreporting any credits and or deductions on their tax return, and taxpayers who just fail to file the required tax returns. So the I.R.S. is not out pursuing tax evasion cases for people who they know can't pay their taxes. But if you try and hide assets or income that could be used to pay your back taxes, they will actually pursue you then. So the Chrisleys are not only fighting their tax evasion charges, they're also fighting criminal prosecution at this point. That's why the story about the ex-employee is not really making sense to an accountant that deals with tax resolution cases. In case you were wondering, yes, the IRS can get your bank statements as well as put a levy of lien on your bank accounts. So this is a good tip to remember also for the people who trade and sell in cryptocurrency. The moment your digital currency turns to real currency in the bank, there's a paper trail. And this is what's going to happen in this situation. So the Chrisleys will hire several criminal defense and tax attorneys to help defend them. And then eventually they're going to end up pleading guilty to tax evasion, hoping for a lesser sentence. Now, in addition to jail sentences, you normally still have to pay back the taxes along with a large fraud penalty on top of the correct tax amounts. So, if one thing you want to take away from this is your tax return is always your responsibility. And tax evasion is not a just one and done type situation. If you need any tax and accounting help, feel free to contact IATCpro.com or call us at 202-780-4494. We'll be glad to help.